nabanggit din si VP Sara doon sa possible ongoing sa ICC, hindi po ba magkakaroon ng push and pull kung kunwari kailangan nilang pumunta doon sa The Hague or kailangan siyang nandoon tapos mayroong ongoing impeachment dito sa Pilipinas?
Well, kagaya po ng nabanggit ko, kung sakasakaling ganun po, I think kung ganun na mangyayari, magkakaroon po talaga ng pagka-delay or magkakaroon tayo ng medyo problema dito sa impeachment.
Sige sir, yun na lang po muna on my...
Before Mela, Marian Enriquez from TV5.
Sir, follow up lang po sa ICC and yung possible involvement nga po ni VP Sara regarding that. And we also know po, nakalatag po sa articles of impeachment natin.
Hello po mga ka-viral and welcome back again to this YouTube channel. Latest update na naman tayo ngayon. VP Sara Duterte nataranta sa biglang paglabas ng desisyon ng ICC or International Criminal Court hinggil sa partisipasyon nito sa crime against humanity. Matatandaang si VP Sara ay mayor noon ng Davao City noong nangyari ang war on drugs at AJK ng administrasyon ng Pangulong Duterte. Kaliwat kanan ngayon ang dagok na kinakaharap ng mga Duterte pagkatapos inaresto ng ICC si FRRD na ngayon ay nasa detention facility na ng ICC sa The Hague, Netherlands. Samantala, si VP Sara Duterte naman ay humaharap sa impeachment trial na isinusulong ng mga taga-kamara hinggil sa mga kasong napapaloob sa articles of impeachment, kabilang na ang confidential funds, bribery, inciting to sedition at grave threats sa Pangulo, First Lady at House Speaker Romualdez na bunyag na maliban sa mga controversial ang mga pangalan na nakatanggap di umano ng confidential funds mula sa OVP at isa na rito ang pangalang Mary Grace Piatos, ay mayroon pang ibang mga pangalan na nakatanggap. At ito ngayon ang nadiskubre ng mga taga-kamara na sina Congressman Ortega at kasama nito. Subalit ayon sa kampo ng Vice Presidente ay tangi ang COA or Commission on Audit ang makakasagot kung mayroon siyang hindi maipaliwanag na paggamit ng confidential funds at intelligent funds. Dahil lahat umano ng mga reports niya sa COA ay aprobado at cleared ng auditing.
Let's now call on Tina Panganiban Perez for today's first question.
Good afternoon po, sirs. Senate President Chis Escudero said that he will refer the pleading that you filed this morning to the Senate legal team so they can discuss this tomorrow. Why is there a need to do such, sir?
Alam niyo, lahat po kami ay sumusunod, lahat po tayo dapat sumunod sa Constitution. Kung sinasabi ng Constitution that the proceeding shall start forthwith, kailangan sumunod kami. Otherwise, pag hindi kami sumunod, kami na ang nagbabiolate ng ating Constitution. So, kahit anong ginagawa po namin, dahil napakahalaga ng prosesyong ito, ay kailangan sumunod po kami sa ating pinaka-fundamental law. At yun po ang lahat ng oath of office namin ay based doon sa ating Constitution at gagampanan namin ng walang anumang pasubali o hangaring umiwas ang aming mga sinumpaang katungkulan.
In addition to what the minority leader has mentioned, the prosecution has collectively taken the stand that, given the Constitution says that the trial under the Senate will proceed immediately forthwith, we are of the opinion that legally sound naman po yung aming motion. However, we do understand that the good Senate President might have a differing opinion, and thus we would understand the reason for them to refer to their legal team. But we remain confident that our submission is in line with our legal theory po.
Sirs, is the Senate violating the Constitution for every day that it does not start trial? It's already violating the Constitution, sir?
May tinatawag na interparliamentary courtesy. Ayokong magsalita, pero ang gusto ko lang sabihin na ay nandun yung Constitution natin. Lahat naman tayo nakakaintindi po niyan.
Po. Sir, habang hindi pa po convened yung Senate Impeachment Court, pwede pong mag-file ng ganitong pleadings?
Alam niyo po, kahit break po ang kami, alam niyo, hindi na lang itong ganitong hearings ang nadaanan natin. mula ng 11th Congress ay marami na akong nakita kahit nung panahon ng mga break obligado because impeachment is separate from the regular hearings of the House. Kaya kahit break, pwede mag-constitute dahil napaka-importante po nito sa ating konstitusyon. Kahit nga hindi impeachment, nakikita po natin, nagtutuloy-tuloy yung hearings ng House, nagtutuloy-tuloy ng hearings ng Senado. Mas lalo na pag ganitong usapin na this is specified precisely by the Constitution on what is the importance of this process. Alam niyo yung taong bayan, mahirapan silang idulog sa mga korte natin pag pinakamatataas na official ang pinag-uusapan. That's the reason why we have this process.
Pero sir, earlier sinabi na po ni Senate President na magkaiba po yung regular hearings doon po sa impeachment. So, yung stand po ng prosecution panel, ganun pa rin na pinaka-importante itong impeachment at dapat forthwith simulan na.
Napakaklaro po ng ating Constitution that the impeachment process shall start forthwith. Anong ibig sabihin ng forthwith? Right away, without delay. Kami naman po sa 11-man prosecution team, we have to follow this. That we have to assume our duties and responsibilities para gampanan po namin. Medyo gusto rin namin mangampanya, mag-break, ganun din. Pero because of this provision of the Constitution, wala kaming magagawa eh. Pero kung ano ang interpretation nila, sabi ko nga, basahin natin siguro. Saka, pero inirespeto natin, may tinatawag tayong interparliamentary courtesy. Taong bayan na po ang decision dyan at may regular court naman, may Supreme Court naman po tayo. Sana ay madesisyonan po ito.
Sir, last na lang po from my end. You cited several provisions in the Constitution and the rules on the impeachment trial in your pleading. Do you think that's enough to convince the Senate legal team and the Senate President to change their timeline? Kasi ang naunang sabi after SONA pa po.
Alam niyo, lahat ito nakikinig sa taong bayan. Lalo na pag nakita nila na ang mga prosecutors ay handang gampanan ng aming tungkulin at nakahanda po kami sa iniutos sa amin ng buong Kamara. Palagay ko makikinig sila dito.
In addition to that lang po, no, siguro, as we mentioned, as the good Senate President has mentioned, that the Senate is ready to prepare for the trial. They are willing to go through the motions and any preparation that might be necessary even prior po, no? So in relation to the timeline, the motion filed by the prosecution to the Honorable Libanan, yung entry with the motion of summons, this could be considered one of those preparatory steps po, no? So we are of the opinion that legally they can tackle this matter even within the timeline that they have originally mentioned. So yun po.
Thank you. Thank you, Tina Panganiban. Next, Rosalie Cas from UNTV.
Good afternoon po, Kongs. I-reiterate ko lang po yung question po ni Ms. Tina. Kahit hindi pa nagko-convene yung Senate as an impeachment court, pwede na ba nilang aksyonan yun pong inyong entry of appearance at motions to issue summons?
Ang pagkarinig ko kay Ma'am Tina kanina na magtatawag sila, magme-meeting sila at magde-decide sila. So, pwede kasi mayroon naman tayong tinatawag na special session. Pwede yun in the performance of their official duties. Pwede po yun.
UNTV for her questions.
Good morning po, Kong. Si Vice President Duterte po natanong po sa The Hague regarding po sa issue ng confidential funds, lalo na po yung humahabang listahan ng mga fictitious names na si Kong Ortega po yung naghayag. Pero meron po siyang statement, ang sabi niya, if I may read, hindi ko masagot yan dahil as we speak, hindi namin alam how they handled the chain of evidence. Hindi natin alam kung yan talaga yung sinubmit ng Office of the Vice President at this point. Any reaction to her statement po?
sa akin naman po, at least may nakuha rin tayo na reaction or sagot. Kasi nga, nung 2 days ago, siguro Hello, ayun. So yung siguro 2 days ago, siguro mga 8 interview ako sa isang araw tungkol diyan sa sila Dodong Gang saka sila Mickey Mango saka si Jay Camote. Hindi Jay Kong Hun, Jay Camote. Sabi ko nga po, nag-umpisa yan, budget briefings, during the hearings sa good government. And up until this point, hindi po talaga nila masagot eh. Kasi sabi ko nga, if that's a procedure, may procedure po tayo with handling confidential intelligence funds, madali pong sagutin talaga yon. Kasi nga, kung sumunod ka sa procedure at, 'di ba? Mas madali po talagang sagutin pag alam mo. Ngayon, sabi ko nga po, meron naman po tayong nakabinbin na impeachment. Sabi ko, then that will be answered during the impeachment sa Article 2. So, kaya nga po, siguro, makikita po natin yung Kalye survey, no? Talagang yung mga tao, ramdam na ramdam mo sa taong bayan na, uy, ano ba itong mga to? Sino ba itong mga to? Ba't hindi nila mapaliwanag? So, sabi ko nga, ayan, meron pong forum at magkakaroon po ng impeachment para po masagot lahat ng mga tanong po natin. Kasi hanggang ngayon, ako rin po, hindi ko rin po alam ang sagot dun sa mga tanong na yun.
It seems like hindi pa po nakakapaganda si VP Duterte dahil sa The Hague. Siya po yung immediate family ni dating Pangulong Duterte doon nakasama. So, mayroon po ba kayong any message for her? Kasi it seems like nagdududa siya dun sa hawak niyong ebidensya against her.
Well, nung wala pa naman po sa The Hague, wala din naman pong yung mga nakuhang sagot. Actually, during the hearings, puro parang maraming sagutan, maraming drama, pero there wasn't a straight answer na nakuha natin during the hearings, briefings, or even informal or formal interviews with her. So, siguro po, yun pa rin, ang bottom line, inaantay pa rin po natin yung mga sagot tungkol doon. And yun nga, I'm sure it will be addressed during the impeachment naman po. Siyempre, yung pagpunta naman po sa Hague, hindi naman po natin pwedeng questionin yun kasi as a daughter, saka yung tatay naman po ang kanyang pinupuntahan.
Yesterday po in an interview, si House Secretary General Velasco made a statement. Nag-conduct daw po ng mock trial yung prosecution panel ng House for the impeachment. Kahit hindi po kayo kasama sa prosecution team pero member po kayo ng House leadership that supports the prosecution team, can you confirm this and also any significant developments sa preparations ng House prosecution panel?
As far as I know, hindi ko po alam yung sa mock trial, pero ang alam ko meron silang short meeting. Pero hanggang doon lang talaga yung alam ko. Pero malamang if ever may mock trial, part po ng preparation po lahat 'yon para pagdating po ng June, wala na po tayong delays, wala na po tayong aberya, at saka well prepared naman po yung team of prosecutors natin dito sa House of Representatives.
Idadagdag ko lang po, aside from the preparation, actually you have 11-man team dyan eh. So it's also important para they can move as one, yung rapport at saka yung tinatawag nating chemistry, how can not only consolidate their the data and the evidences that they have to provide, but how can they also complement each other. So I think that's part of the preparation process that we also the House is also trying to proceed on, no.
Last on my part na lang din po, kasi po meron pong bahagi na statement si SP Cheese para rin po kay Kong Ortega. Kasi nag-react po siya dun sa sinabi niyo, kung nakakapag-conduct ng hearings during recess, why not conduct the impeachment trial? Pero sabi po ni SP Cheese din, perhaps he may also want to get clearer signals from the speaker, referring to you po, Kong Ortega, who is quite satisfied and has never questioned the Senate's actions, preparations, and preparedness.
Yun nga po, sabi ko nga, baka kala rin siguro na prosecutor ako. Kasi nga po, nag-comment ako dun sa issue. Pero, sabi ko nga, nakita ko yung press release na from the speaker na natuwa po siya sa commitment ng Senate dun po sa nararating po na impeachment, no. Nung nakita ko po yun na nag-react po saka sumagot po si Speaker Martin Romualdez, siguro nakiliti lang ako ng konti saka kinilig. Alam mo yun, na-excite ako, parang ganun ba? Kasi nga, madami nga pong diskusyon tungkol dito sa impeachment eh. Siyempre, ipapahayag din po natin yung opinion natin saka sentimiento. Kinilig lang ako ng konti na maganda po yung ugnayan saka usapan po ng Senate saka House of Representatives. Yun lang naman po.
Thank you po.
Thank you, Rosalie. Tina Pangilinan Perez from GMA7. You're recognized.
Naririnig niyo, sir. Good morning po. Sir, several members of the House have condemned Attorney Harry Roque's continued stay in the Netherlands as an attempt to evade the contempt and detention order of the Quadcom. Lalo pa he's trying to seek asylum there. As active members of the Quadcom, ano pong masasabi niyo rito? And if you have any messages po for Attorney Roque?
Well, even the Vice President Sara Duterte is he sees the presence of Harry Roque as part of the legal team. Supposedly that's the initial information that we got. Something that would cause more problem to the case itself. I think she knows, in the team, she already knows. They already know that Harry Roque is bringing too much problem if ever that he would remain in the Netherlands, because they understand that not only Attorney Roque was he cited in contempt by the Quadcom, but he also is facing a serious case here in the country, yung qualified human trafficking, its involvement in the Pogo. Kasi pareho po sila ng kaso with Alice Goo. So, he has no business in the Netherlands anymore, considering that the team of the legal team, no less than the Vice President, says na hindi naman po siya parte dun sa legal team. So I don't know why he remains to be in Netherlands apart from evading the reach of evading the case that he has to face here in the country. Kasi titingnan mo, prior to the arrest of former president, he is already in hiding eh. Umalis na po siya. So there was already the intent not to face not only the Quad but not to face the court. So as a lawyer himself, he knows quite very well that he needs to respect the law. He needs to have himself presented before the court so that he can clear his name. If he continues to be elusive and evasive and continues to go, I don't know how could I qualify that up until the arrest of President Duterte. We didn't know where he was until dumating siya sa Netherlands and he's presented himself as one of the lawyers. So I think he has no business doing in Netherlands. He has to come home and he needs to face the charges before him. And that's his opportunity to clear his name. He's a lawyer. He knows how to deal with it. He can effectively defend himself before the courts. Sabi nga naman niya, so expert siya sa mga ganyang klaseng kaso. So I don't see any reason why he keeps on running away and not face the charges being filed against him here in the Philippines. Not only the Quad citing ng contempt, but even the more serious one, which is the qualified human trafficking.
Attorney Jill Bungalon, sir, will you please enlighten us, non-lawyers, regarding doon sa contention ng legal panel ni former President Duterte. Kaya sila nag-file ng petition for certiorari and TRO and now habeas corpus sa Supreme Court na nagkaroon daw ng procedural lapses doon sa execution ng arrest warrant from ICC kasi supposed to be daw, even Senator Cayetano, sinabi niya na yung arrest warrant ay dapat i-validate pa ng local competent court before na i-execute.
Okay. With respect to that issue, no, I haven't read their petition, no, petition for certiorari and the petition for writ of habeas corpus. But, well, I assume that their contention is that there were procedural lapses in the implementation of the warrant, number one, because according to them, probably the Philippines should not recognize that warrant, no, because we are no longer a party or a member under the Rome Statute. So, yun yung sinasabi nila. Well, my understanding of this issue is that the warrant of arrest was validly issued by the International Tribunal, particularly the ICC. And although the Philippines is not a member, is no longer a member of the Rome Statute, but the warrant of arrest was coursed through the Interpol, no? Of which our country, the Philippines, is a long-time member of this organization. And under that, we are duty-bound, we are under-obligated to effect and implement the warrant. So, being a member, meron ho tayong obligasyon, no, na through our Philippine National Police or the law enforcement agencies to implement and effect the warrant. So ginawa lang naman ng ating pong gobyerno yung kanilang trabaho na with the issuance of the warrant of arrest, kailangan nila po yun i-serve kay Pangulong Duterte. At yung sa petition for writ of habeas corpus, of course, they really want the body of President Duterte, no, to be returned in this country. But I guess it should be a matter that the Supreme Court should decide. And also, there are legal remedies available on the part of the respondent, no, on the part of President Duterte. So probably they can file a motion or a petition with the ICC, considering that in a few hours, of course, the President will be turned over to the authorities of the ICC, which has the jurisdiction over the case. And yun po yung mga kailangan natin abangan, ano? And again, as mentioned nga, this is unprecedented. Hindi pa to nangyari before eh. And that is why, well, once and for all, for the Supreme Court to decide with respect to that issue, no, regarding that procedural lapses. And of course, hindi yung fact na kailangan po i-validate, you know, by being a member of the Interpol, of course, as part of the global community, we should cooperate with respect to transnational crimes like terrorism, cyber crimes, hijacking, human trafficking. So these are crimes that are being committed, no, across the country. For instance, let me illustrate. What if a particular individual, a foreign individual, committed a serious crime, for instance, crimes against humanity, no, in a particular foreign country, at yung akusadong yon lumipad dito sa ating bansa, no, to seek, no, probably para makapag-evade ng justice, para magtago, and the ICC issued a warrant, no, for that arrest of that particular person. So, ano bang gusto mong ibig sabihin? Hindi ba kikibo ang ating pong bansa na hulihin ang isang individual na gumawa ng isang seryosong krimen, no, sa ibang bansa? So, magiging pangit ang implikasyon nito. Baka isipin ng mga mamamayan o na ibang mga neighboring countries na baka magiging safe haven for criminals itong ating bansa if we will not comply with our obligation under Interpol. So again, we have to respect the legal process. We have to trust the legal process. So yun po yung aking komento patungkol po dyan.
another question, Attorney Jill, regarding impeachment. Sir, can you confirm na based on the information from the Senate, na supposed to be this day, magkakaroon kayo ng ocular inspection mismo doon sa nire-request nyo na room assignment, pero pinospone daw kasi this afternoon magmi-meeting uli ang prosecution panel regarding the next move on the impeachment against the Vice President after the arrest of former President Duterte?
Well, probably an official request was already sent to the Senate, no, for us to asking the Senate, no, through the Senate President, na bigyan po kami ng isang kwarto, no, in anticipation for the trial, no, wherein doon ho kami tutuloy at doon yung mga paghahanda na gagawin namin bago po magsimula ang impeachment trial. Pero kami pong mga public prosecutors together with the private prosecutors ay nagkaroon po ng pag-meeting, no, kahapon. At ganun pa din yung aming pong paghahanda sa magiging impeachment trial. Of course, yung division of labor or yung assignment of task were already given to the respective members of the prosecution panel. Let's wait and see, no, what would be the next move of the prosecutors dito pong mga darating na araw. But then again, if given the chance, no, mabuti na din po na magkaroon kami ng pagkakataon na makabisita, no, at least parte po ng aming preparasyon yan sa aming trial. We have to be familiarized, no, with the environment wherein doon po mangyayari yung trial. So parte po yung ng aming pong mga preparasyon. Wala ho kaming meeting ngayong hapon.
Thank you, Vic. Lenes Capanti from GMA Online.
Good afternoon, sir. About, nabanggit din kasi ni Kong Jude to kanina, yung Pangilinan versus Cayetano, na ruling of the Supreme Court, stating that the Philippines is still obligated to cooperate with ICC proceedings provided that yung alleged crimes happened during when we were still a party to the Rome Statute and the complaint was filed, the proceedings were initiated prior to the withdrawal. Given this Supreme Court decision, do you think the Marcos government stands on solid legal ground in effecting the arrest?
Well, I think, as just to be consistent with what the president said, no, he cooperated with the Interpol, taking into consideration that we have our own obligations to the Interpol, which are separate with that our obligation to the ICC.